a patient. I'm a doctor, not a bricklayer.
How's it guys? Travis from HMHS Britannic here. Well, this is the beginning of the group build. Reilly's Heroes of the Hour. This is a build, if you didn't see my unboxing video, this is a build for medics, chemists, everybody that's basically doing their part to try to stop the corona, and the people that are working in chemists and stuff that are the most vulnerable, that were working through lockdown and everything. This is basically a build for them, as far as that's the way I understand it, for all the medical type personnel and stuff. So this will be the first building video of the group build. Started almost 3 weeks ago, the actual build, the beginning of the month, but there is no end date, so you can take as long as you want. This is my entry. I'm taking a RMS Titanic kit and modifying it into the HMHS Britannic. There's going to be quite a bit of work done on this model to make it into the different sister. I'm going to do some sanding and stuff in this first part of the video. I'm dedicating this to all the people that work I should have thought this out a little bit better. I'm dedicating this video to all the chemists, nurses, doctors, medics, paramedics, pharmaceutical companies, people that work, that do the research into the drugs and all that. So I dedicate this video to all of those people, and also to my friend Trevor, who is a chemist. He works for the chemist in Clicks in Cartonville at the mall. I dedicate the video to him and to all his colleagues and medical professionals. Anyway, let's get over to the model, then I can start telling you where I need to work and what I need to fix. Be back now. Okay guys, there's the hull upside down. And pretty much the hull itself is in pretty good condition. Not much flash or anything in the holes. Just a lot of portholes which I'll have to drill out if I'm going to light it. I'm going to zoom in over here and hopefully you'll be able to see it. I just need to design a light for my tripod, but let's see if I can get that to focus. No, you don't want to focus. There we go. Just focus and that's out of focus. I don't know if you can see that big mark there, but you can hear there's a big step over here which I've got to flatten. So I've got quite a bit of sanding down here to do, and I lost a little bit of a mark there in the front and the back, and then here on this back you can see that indentation there and a bit over there. That is where this is right. Basically in line with this over here. So I've got to fill that big dent in there and get rid of that, make that nice and smooth. And that's where the two propellers go on, the outer propellers. I've got to glue that in place, and then of course down here somewhere between there. I'm out of shot. Let me zoom out. We won't zoom out. From there to there is where that little piece of metal goes that makes the ship stable, so when she's sailing through the water she doesn't do that. So she's like that. When you got rough waves that kill or something, I can't remember the name now, but that stops the ship from doing that and gives it a more stable ride in the water. So those are the couple little things that I've got to fix. And I'll just find some sandpaper and then I can start sanding that a little bit. Just get it a little bit done there, and then I'll come back later on when I do that. But if you go look at the Britannic, she's lying in a couple of feet of water, pretty deep, but if you're experienced enough you could actually dive on her. I just want to go back so you can see the whole ship. Now when the Britannic sank, the front of the ship here hit the bottom of the ocean, and the top of the ship was still at the surface. So this whole front piece crumbled, bent, and actually broke off the ship. So the front of the ship on the Britannic is actually broken off and crushed, but the rest of the ship is basically lying in this type of, as far as I know, it's lying like this on the bottom of the ocean. So you could actually swim down and see what the Titanic would have looked like if you could get to her in one piece. Of course the Titanic's broken in two, but the Britannic is lying basically in this type of position on the bottom of the ocean, with the front buckled and bent and crushed. Anyway guys, that's enough of that for now. When I come back I'll do a little bit of sanding, and then once that's done I'll do the rest off camera. I'll just do a little bit on camera, and then the rest of it I'll do off camera, and then I'll come and do the putting a little bit later. Be back now. Okay guys, I've upgraded, well, changed my lighting by my computer table. So I'm showing you what the lighting looks like with no lighting. Now some of you will remember what it looked like with the old lights. I've now replaced that with 12 volt LED strips which I pulled out of something else, and I've upgraded my light, so hopefully this will be brighter. Turning the light on now. So hopefully this will give much more detail and be a lot brighter for you guys. I would still like some more light on this side. The only problem is I've got no way to mount it, but as you can see much better detail on here now, so this light is a lot better. As you can see, there's a line going here, a bit of a weird cuff type mark over there, and some other little marks over there. Now the detail on the bottom is very bad. I don't know why it's so bad. It's very scratched over here. This model kit was supposed to have never been worked on before. It's a brand new kit, but it looks almost as if somebody had sanded over here. Now there's supposed to be, looks like panel lights. I've never seen what the bottom of the Titanic is supposed to look like, so I don't know what this area is supposed to look like. But if anybody knows of good websites where I can get good pictures and photos, video, anything of the Britannic deck planes, anything, will you please put it on an email for me? I'll leave my email in the description, so please email me any website. Just copy the website, paste it in the email and send it to me, or leave the website in the description. I'll appreciate it. I can try and get better photos of what all the stuff looks like. Anyway guys, I'm now going to try just sand this line so it's not as raised. And just get it looking a bit better. Now the Titanic is one of the very first ships I've ever fallen in love with. The first ship was the HMS Victory. I saw that when I was a kid and I fell in love with it. Not long after that I discovered a book on the Titanic, and Robert Ballard, who discovered it, a book of his which he made, and after that I fell in love with the Titanic, her beauty, her majesty. You get much bigger ocean liners these days, but no matter how nice and big and luxurious they look, they will never come close to Titanic. Titanic might have just been Royal Mail ship which took passengers from A to B and wasn't a cruise ship like you get today. Half the size, but she was more beautiful, more luxurious. There will never be another one like her. Even this Titanic 2 which they're building, as nice as she will look and as similar as she'll look to the real thing, she won't be the real thing because there can only be one. So if anybody can help me with pictures of Britannic and the Olympic, would help as well, because I am going to be building the Olympic. It would be much appreciated. And then somebody left website on the aircraft carrier stuff. I just want to say thank you very much for leaving that website. It's appreciated. At the moment I'm not planning on building another aircraft carrier because I don't have one, but maybe on the Bismarck there will be something I want to get, and maybe there I'll have that. Anyway guys, that's up to 6 minutes. I don't know, you can see this is going to take quite a while. I'm getting that looking pretty nice. So when I come back, we'll be getting to, if I can see this, right over there. I don't know how nicely that will come up on the camera, but there's a big great dent right over there, and that lines up with this pin over here. Anyway guys, that's it for now. When I come back, we'll be getting on to the next part. Be back now. Okay guys, there's a dent here. I'm going to show you this side. What I'm just going to be using is the Tamir putty white, just to try and fill this little gap up. So I'm trying to use an old blade because that's pretty straight. So there we go. I just want to try use the edge just to try and get that nicely straight like that. So yeah, there we go. Once that's dry, I can give it a bit of sanding and hopefully that nasty mark will be gone. Anyway guys, I'll be back now and we can sand that and we can get on to gluing the parts on, and then that will be this video. Anyway guys, be back now. Okay guys, this is the book from the Titanic which I'm busy building. Reason why I've got it here is because I found the original book from the first Titanic model I built when I turned 21. I'm now 46, almost 46. End of this year I turned 46. So that would be almost 25 years ago that I bought my first Titanic, which was destroyed by my uncle. That's the one I want to restore as the Olympic. Instructions are damaged. The first back page is missing, but there we go guys. That's what their instructions originally looked like many years ago, 25 years ago when you bought the model. You can see it's still the same company. It's just the instructions are different. It's probably the exact same kit but just older. So let's just see if I can find. There's page 1, basically step 1 in the new Titanic, and this page 1 on the old Titanic. As you can see, they show you to build the stand first, then put the hull together, and then start with your first deck. If I take that away, exactly the same pictures, no difference. The model is exactly the same. Only difference is this page is here and that one is there. That page is there, and then you've got to flip over to get to that page, which is exactly the same as this. Exactly the same model. Okay, the only difference I see is this over here, where they don't have it on this one, but everything else is the same. Anyway guys, that's enough of that nonsense for now. When I come back, we'll be back with the model. Be back now. Okay guys, I've now got to glue these in place. That's got to come in here, like that. I actually thought these would be black, not white, but anyway. So let's get the glue down. I'm only going to show you one side, and then the other side I'll do off camera. The next part I'll do will be the stabilizers, and after that this video will be done, but that I'll do later. This doesn't seem to be made very nice. Okay, there we go, that's now in place, and let me just get it back in view. That's as good as I can get it for now. This end piece I'll have to glue down once I've got this glued, because I've got to push it, and as soon as I push it there, this side pops out. So I'm going to let that dry, and then I'll sort that piece out. I still got this piece to do, and then later on when I come back, we'll be doing the stabilizers and the rudders. Anyway guys, that's it for now. I'm going to leave that for a while so I can dry before I attempt to put on the other side. Be back now. Okay guys, next we're going to be putting the rudder together. That's a basic two parts. You don't have to glue this onto the ship, put it into position and glue it. You can glue this, put it in position and then glue it onto the ship. So all this is a pretty simple thing to do. You just got to put the two halves together and that's it. And you can slide that in place and glue it. Once I've got this glued in, then I can go on the seam lines and just clean everything up. So seem to be missing something. It's decided to come off in the lid. It's the only thing I hate about these models is this thing doesn't seem to stay in there. I wish I just made on the end of here just a little bit of a bump and then mold that into there, and you wouldn't have that problem. Make it bigger than the hole, then it won't slide out. But anyway, okay. And that's that part glued together. Now everybody blames all sorts of things for the Titanic hitting the iceberg. That it was going too fast. That because they didn't have the binoculars, they couldn't see, blah blah blah. They couldn't see the iceberg from a distance because of the fact that the sea was calm, and I don't know if you know, when you look off in the distance and the heat from the ground actually disguises what's in the distance, so you don't see a car coming until all of a sudden it's almost on top of you. That is basically what happened with the Titanic. And the other thing why she took so long to start turning was because this part of the ship was too small. If they'd made this bigger, then she would have displaced, when she was turning, she would have pushed more water and she would have turned faster. This was one of the, in my opinions, and one of the TV series, I can't remember what they watched, this was the biggest design flaw. Nothing else on the ship other than that. If they made that come out to say about there, I said big and round, then she would have turned much faster because she would have had more surface area on the water. Yeah, to display, to turn, would have started pushing her sideways. Anyway, enough about that history. That's that part done. When I come back, we'll be putting on the next parts, and then this video will be done. We'll be putting on this onto the side of the ship. Let me just reposition the camera. Be back now. Okay guys, the next part I'm going to do is this one here. It's not glued in place yet. I've just put it in place. I'm now at my computer table, so I can get a bit more light on the subject. Hopefully this is better than the bed. I'm now just going to quickly glue that in place. This piece is almost dry. Just got to sand all the ugly parts off and get that ready for glue. That I'll do a bit later. So let's quickly get that off. Drop a bit of glue down. Okay, there we go. There we go. Got that in place. Now, just to let it dry. Okay guys, the next one I've got to do is on the other side, but that one I'm going to do off camera. So there we go, that's the next part done. I'm going to prime the hole first so I can see that everything's nice and smooth, and I've got to drill out all the holes for the portholes. And then I can put in the lights, so I'm going to prime it in grey, and then I'll be able to see any problems. The bottom of the ship unfortunately was quite bad seen there, but this at least you won't see that. I'm not too bothered about that. It's just, this is more important. The bottom, I don't really know what it really looked like in real life, how they pop riveted, how that looked. Anyway guys, when I come back later, we will be gluing this part onto the ship, and then that will be it for this video. Be back later. Okay guys, these two parts are in place, plus the stabilizers. And the last part to put on will be the ship's rudder. I just had to make this hole a little bit bigger because the rudder didn't want to fit in it. And all you have to do is and push up, and the rudder's in place. Very simple. Now for the old sailing type ships, the rudder of this size compared to the ship would have been fine to turn the ship, but because this rudder is so small, when it turns it hasn't got enough water pushing against the rudder to cause the ship to start turning. And by the time the engine's in full reverse and the amount of water hitting the rudder caused the ship to turn, it was too late. That's just a little one of my opinions on the only design flaw, in my opinion, on the Titanic. Some glue over there. Now the propellers, I'm not going to put them on until I'm basically got the bottom of the hull on the stand, because while I'm moving and painting and stuff, I don't accidentally want to break the blades off. So yeah, that's why I've decided not to put that on until a later stage. Okay guys, that's it. I've got my glue on. Get that as straight as possible. And there we go. That's all nicely done now. Now it's just a matter of priming when the time comes and laying down the white paint, because the whole ship is going to be white. And then painting the bottom black, or no, sorry, I think it's red, and then painting the green hospital lights and all that on. But before I do any of that, I just want to make sure with these windows along here, if any of them have to change, if there's any that has to be filled up. So yeah, before I can start painting, I've got a lot of other work to do. Let me just quickly zoom out. This is of course quite a large ship for 1/350 scale. I would love to be able to build the 1/200 scale, but unfortunately that model is way out of my price range. If you want to see that model being built, I'm planning, Boyd's building it, and I don't know when Aussie Trek is going to build it, because all he did was complain and complain about the model, even though it is one of the most accurate models on the planet. He still moans too much about it. Anyway guys, that's it for now. I'll be back now. Okay guys, that's it for this video. I could have gone further, but I first want to check on those portals and stuff. If anybody knows of a good website where I can get excellent photos, design plans, anything on the ship, please put a link in the description where you put your comments. Just put the website's address there, or email me. I'll be putting my email in the description, but in case something happens and it's not there, it's TG Weeks, like in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, at mweb.co.za. Don't know how I look on the camera's little screen. I look a little bit on the red side. Right now it is 16 minutes past 11 in the morning, so the sun is coming through my red, white and black blinds, and the red is dominating, so I look a little bit red. Don't worry, I'm not very sunburnt. So if anybody can help me with any websites where I can get beautiful photos of the Britannica, Olympic and Titanic, that will be awesome. I found some stuff. I have got a book on the Titanic. I've got this book here, the only book I own. Unfortunately, the amount of information it gives on Britannic is very limited. I just saw the photo and now she's gone. Ah, there we go. That's the only real photo they gave of the Britannic, coming out of her berth, painted in white, and I assume that's red. And then the only other thing they give is a painting of the ship. So that's everything I've got on her. I have downloaded some stuff, but everything I found so far isn't good enough, is not clear enough. I've got some deck plans, but they are very bad quality. So if anybody can help me with a site where I can go get some nice deck plans and I don't have to pay for them, because I don't have money to pay for them right now, I'll be greatly appreciated. So once again, my email address is tgweeks@mweb.co.za. Thanks for watching, guys, and as I said, this video is dedicated to my friend Trevor and all his fellow chemists, to all the doctors, nurses, paramedics, fire brigade and everybody else, police, that have to work and become in more contact with the corona than anybody else. It's all dedicated to them. And the other two people I didn't mention in the beginning of the video is my two doctor friends who live in Australia, Nicole and Tanya Ali. I'm not sure what their surnames are now. I dedicate the video to everybody that does medical work. So this is not just a group build for the medical profession like chemists and doctors and everybody, but it's also dedicated to my best friend Trevor and my two friends Nicole and Tanya. Anyway, live long and prosperous and happy modeling. And wear the mask. It's not protecting you from the coronavirus, it's protecting other people that might have the coronavirus from stopping you from putting your onto surfaces and they can pick it up that way. So a lot of people says it doesn't help you. No, it doesn't help you, but it will help you from spreading the virus if you've got it. Anyway, guys, cheers.